like yesterday we did something like standalone application. Okay, so now I think we have to perform some cloud related databases. Okay, so now so cloud computing, you have to understand. So cloud computing are cloud services. Okay, cloud computing are cloud services. It's basically the many computers together, or in fact the clusters of computers are connected. So clusters of computers are connected to form a cloud services. Okay, so in inside this particular cloud services, you can have something called storage. Okay, so you can have storage as a service. Okay, you can have a storage as a service, and you can have database. Okay, database as a service. Okay, and also you can have something like platform. Okay, platform as and you can have something like software as a service. Like this, it will go on. So bandwidth as a service. Okay, so bandwidth as a service. So there are list of services are available in the cloud. Okay, so the main players. Okay, so we call them as cloud service providers. Okay, cloud service providers basically. Okay, AWS, Amazon Web Services. So this is basically pioneer in providing the cloud services, and also Google Cloud Platform. Okay, so these two people are basically they provide cloud services, and also they provide both public as well as private clouds. Okay, private clouds, and there are many. Every company provides cloud services. IBM provide cloud services. Every company provides cloud services. Okay, so basically if you want to take say for example 100 GB data. Okay, you can go for Google. So you can purchase 100 GB data and you can pay. Okay, when you stop using that storage, or the service will not be given to you. Like that, if you want database, you can go for AWS, GCP, or IBM, or any other service providers, and you can acquire that particular service. So that is how first you have to see what you want, then you just go with the service providers. Okay, service provider, main service providers. So I'll just show you, say for example, AWS. Okay, so if you see AWS, this is basically their website, and there are list of services you can see, and their pricing also you can see. Now you see a lot of services. Okay, software services, developing tool, IoT services. Many services are there. Storage services. Say for example, you want computing capacity. Okay, so if you want computing capacity, there is one. Okay, so there are, say for example, Amazon EC2 is basically one computing service. So when you click on this particular thing, they will, mention all the pricings and its features. Okay, you just have to see this particular features, and if you're okay with this particular service, and you just have to AWS provides 12 months free services. You can just log in and subscribe, and you can work on all these things. Say for example, I want database, so we are interested in working on database. Say for example, a lot of databases are available. Say NoSQL databases are available. Okay, MySQL and PostgreSQL, whatnot. So all the database they will provide, okay, as a service. So that the thing is, it is basically called service because they will enable, they will give all the required configuration items, and you can start using and you can start hosting. Once you stop paying, and they will stop your service. Compared to the instead of purchasing the database, if you take this service, you just have to pay less. So that is the advantage. Say for example, I want MySQL. Okay, MySQL in my local machine. Okay, so I just used that particular database, but that is not a good practice. What you have to use, you have to purchase the cloud service from the AWS or GCP or any other cloud service providers, and then you have to keep all your data in that particular cloud. Okay, so that is how you have to work. Say for example, all these databases they will provide MySQL, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, Oracle, so SQL, Microsoft SQL, all these things they will provide. So if you want to take this service, you thing, okay, their features, and then you can click on this particular pricing, and they will provide the pricing. So you can there is some calculator is available. Okay, so using that particular calculator, you can see how much you have to pay. Say for example, this is one, you have to pay something around $50. Okay, so that for the whenever you usage, that will be considered as effective hour. So for that you have to pay $0.011. So you just have to calculate, and also based on the capacity, how much you want, how much GB of database you require, and also how much transactions you do, this database operation. Based on that, they will charge. So that is how you can see all the, and you can select that particular package. So then what they will provide? Ultimately, they will provide only the host name, username, and password. That's all. You just have to keep that particular things in your working on that particular thing. Okay. So this is how you have to select the database. So it is better to select AWS database if you are creating some good application. Okay. So or you can go for platform. Normally this RDBMS is costlier. That means SQL database is costlier compared to NoSQL databases. Okay, so now coming to NoSQL database, I always prefer go for Firebase. Okay, so Firebase, Google provides Google acquired this particular Firebase. Now Google is providing this service. Lot of things are positive things are there in this particular application. Now what you have to do, you just have to go to firebase.google.com. so you will land up in this particular page. Okay, so then before starting this Firebase, any clarification you required on this cloud service providers and cloud services? You can unmute yourself and you can ask, or you can ask in chat. So I'll be discussing on this cloud services in detail in the last unit, but I just given some introductory note on cloud services and cloud service providers. Any clarification? So this cloud services are very important because in future, nobody works on the server, and you will see, whenever you want to develop anything or whenever you go for some job, everybody will be talking about this particular cloud services. So that's why you should have some fair idea about this particular cloud services. So that's why, if any clarification is required, you can ask. Yeah, I assume there is no clarification required, so I'll just proceed. So this is the Firebase. Okay, am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Now you see, this is the Firebase. Okay, so now you just have to uh, use Google credentials, and you just have to log in. Okay, once you log in into this particular, my Firebase, your projects may be empty. You just have to create one project. Say, some name you have to give, something like, Python app. Okay, so now then you just have to create one application. Okay, you just have to create one application. So it will take some seconds to create an application. I think to develop any application, only Firebase is sufficient in the backend. Okay, so only Firebase is sufficient for the backend. So that's why you understand this particular Firebase, then you can do a lot of things. So in fact, whatever I do, most of the things I'll do using Firebase. Okay, because they will provide lot of features. Now you will land up in this particular page. Okay, so once you log in, so to the Firebase, you will see this particular dashboard. Now you can see on the left hand side. So here authentication, database, storage, hosting. Okay, all these options they will provide. So authentication means now you can see in many application or say for example Christ University or some other application. So you can log in using the Google email ID and password. You understood? So how they will make? They will make using this kind of authentication, authentication feature. You can create a, authentication level or authentication application wherein you can use something like Facebook credential, Google credential, or you can use mobile phone, OTPs, something like this. You can create authentication level using this particular authentication, application. Okay, so now database. So database they will provide NoSQL databases. You can save. I think they will provide 2 GB of databases. Okay, so you can use that particular database, and also you have an option called storage. Say it is very important for any developer, for any software developer, to understand the content management. Content management means, say, for example, you are uploading some video, where it will go, how it will store, when you no, when you download, from where it will download. So all those things, say pictures, video files, or any binary file, or any software. So if you want to store, so some storage is required. Those kind of data I cannot store in database. So file, system is required. That's why storage is also available. So we can use that feature in Firebase. There is one more feature called hosting. Hosting means, say, for example, you created an application. So after creating application, you'll be having IP address, okay, as your destination, or you'll be having some domain name, which is not easy to understand. Okay, it is very complex. You can go for the GoDaddy account or hosting services. You can take the domain on your name. Okay, something like uh, something like application.com, like that. You can take some domain, and you can connect that particular domain to Firebase, and you can deploy your application in this particular Firebase. You can keep your application in the Firebase, and you can connect. Then what happens when you say application.com, then your application will display. your application will display. So in that way, you can have complete customized hosting mechanism. So that feature is also available in Firebase, and also function. Okay, so it is basically a cloud function. Okay, you can create a functions. Okay, you can create a functions, and you can this particular Firebase. Say for example, I want to write a function, and say for example, solving KVL. That can be a function. You can write a function using Python program or using JavaScript, and you can keep that particular functions in this particular Firebase, and you can run. That option is also available. And also a lot of machine learning applications also available in the Firebase, wherein you can train your input and output data, and you can create a trained model. You can create that option is also available in Firebase. So all these things are basically some features available in Firebase. Okay. Any clarification you required on this particular part? So what I am trying to do next, I will create a database in a Firebase, and I will write a Python program to retrieve that particular data and also to modify that particular data. So that is my ultimate object, is to create a database in Firebase, and it is basically NoSQL database. Last class we discussed about SQL RDBMS. Now I'll create a NoSQL database. I will use Python, and I'll integrate Python with this particular Firebase. That is my objective. So that you can connect all your application with the Firebase, and you can write Python program to have a control. And in fact, you can connect with many programming language with this particular Firebase. You can connect with JavaScripts. You can connect with C++. You can connect with Python. You can connect with Go language. You can connect with any programming language. You can connect to this particular Firebase. That is the one advantage. So these are the, some description about the features of this particular Firebase. Okay, and now I'll just directly go to the data. So I just clicked on the particular database. So you will see nothing. Okay, so no database is available. You just have to click on create database. Okay, now here you have to be very careful. So if you click on test mode, then what happens? It will 30 days read and write permission will be there for the other person. Database will be open. Or what you can do, you can disable that particular access. Those who log in or authenticated users can modify the data. In that way also you can make. Now initially for learning purpose, just make this as a text mode and don't keep any crucial data, and just click on next, and you see your database is created now. Okay, so you don't change the location. Now it is creating. Now you see, to create a database is very simple here. You just have to sign up, and you just have to come to database, create one database. That's all. Okay, now you can see here. Here in Firebase, there are two types of databases they will provide. Two varieties. One is real-time database, and other one is cloud Firestore. These are the two options what you have in Firebase. So first one is basically real-time database. Real-time database, that means you can store any key value pairs. Okay, like this. So you can you can save any data. You see, one record I added. You see, what I did, I just added one record. In similarly, you can add, you can create your own structure, and you can add, n number of key values. Okay, or you can create any complex JSON. Okay, so that is possible in this particular Firebase. Yes. Anybody have any clarification? Okay. Now, this is how the one advantage of this particular Firebase is that, say for example, if you want to develop any real-time application, say for our electrical student, you may have to create a real-time application. Say for example, you are writing some face recognition application. Your face is recognized, and you want to store that particular recognition or something in a database immediately. So you don't want any delays. So in that case, you can use this particular real-time database. It is very fast. Immediately, the data will be reflected in this particular real-time database from your application. So it's very fast. You can use this for a real-time application. Okay. So this is one variant, and other variant is basically Cloud Firestore in Firebase. Here you can create different collection. Okay, say for example, I am creating a test collection. It is something like different clusters. Okay, anyway, it is anyway it is JSON file only. Okay, it is JSON file only. You can create, but what happens? Different clusters you can create. Now you can see here, test collection is one cluster. Under that, I added one JSON file. Similarly, you can add n number of data or key values. Okay, and also you can create class collection inside a collection. That is also possible in this particular any complex JSON data using this particular Firestore also. Okay, now this is how you can create a database in the Firebase. So Firebase, now you see what you have to do. You have to log into Firebase. Okay, you have to log into Firebase. Basically, you have to create a account in Firebase. If you have a Google account, just log in, and you have to click on the database. You have to create a database. Okay, after creating a database, Firestore and real-time database. Okay, so now the thing is, click on any part and try to work on adding data to this particular databases for both real-time database as well as Firestore. That is what you learn. Okay, then after that, just go to project setting in Firebase, project setting in Firebase, and go to service account. Go to service account, and what you do, click on Python, and there is one button is there, generate new primary key. Click on that particular button. So what this particular primary key, private key does, say for example, this is a Firebase. This is one party, and I am writing one application, okay, using Python. So Python is basically the other party. So how can I access this particular Firebase from Python? So here all the private key will be saved in this particular file. Okay, so using this particular private key or access key or token, you can connect with the Firebase. So once the Firebase identifies this particular key, it allows them. Okay, so that is what happens using this particular private key. So after that, it will ask whether you want to download a file. Just download that particular file, and you can click on that particular file, and you can see. You can open that particular file using any editor. You can see all the private key. It will save transactions are encrypted in this particular Firebase. So you can see some keys. Now, what I request you to sign up in Firebase and create a database and be ready with this particular private key file. Okay, be ready with this particular private key file. That's all we required in the Firebase. Okay, so now next class what I'll do, I don't touch this Firebase. Directly I'll use this particular file what I downloaded. I'll directly try to see the data present in Firebase, and I'll try to write some data to this particular Firebase and modification, something like that. So how to do the database operation, NoSQL database operation using Python, that is what we'll understand in the next class. Yeah, so I'll done with this. So because the other part required a lot of time. So if you have any clarification, please ask.